Okay, my beautiful friends, and you're all freaking beautiful. I know that for a fact, and I love you all. That's the truth. All right, look, so it is Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. I have a lot of stuff that we need to cover. I want to talk to you about so much going on right now in this sick, twisted environment, in this sick, twisted, out of touch with reality market. Now let's start off with Friday, because if something happens tomorrow, this market is in a lot of trouble, and I want to talk about that too. So Friday, this market took a wallop. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 603 points, something along those lines. Now, if we get a follow-through sell-off tomorrow, run for the hills. I cannot stress that enough. I will be shorting this market with everything I have. Every Benjamin Franklin in my arsenal will be used to short this market if we get a sell-off tomorrow. A significant sell-off tomorrow, to me, would mean that much steeper losses are coming for this market. If you know these markets and how they work, when you see that, a big sell-off on a Friday with a follow-through on a Monday, and I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. I'm saying if it does happen, look out. That is a very bad sign. There's also a few other things in play here that we need to talk about. Let's discuss the coronavirus, which is getting an obscene amount of coverage. And again, like I said, I am not saying that this fear being shoved down your throat by the mainstream media is not weighing on this market to a certain degree. Of course it is. But it's crude oil for the most part, that is pulling stocks down. Let me say this too. If you believe that it's the coronavirus that's pulling the stock market lower and not crude oil, and not the fact that the market is overvalued, then you must also entertain the fact that once this blows over, like the Zika virus, remember the whole thing with the Zika virus? When that blew over, what happened to the stock market? Whammo! Then you have to also believe that once the coronavirus is contained, or whatever they got to do to it, stocks are going to go right back up and hit new record highs. Look, in this environment, that's what you should expect. The Federal Reserve just this weekend pumped another $50 billion of temporary cash into the debt market. It's all temporary. Every day, between $50 and $100 billion is being pumped into the debt market every single day. And it's all temporary, according to the Federal Reserve. This is how desperate they are. And let me say something else with regard to the coronavirus. When the mainstream media is trying to force you to look at one spot and is ignoring pretty much everything else, this is when you need to understand that you are being duped, that you should be looking in other spots. Again, you are not allowed to know. It is way above your pay grade, according to them, the importance that crude oil has on this market. People go, why is crude oil so high? Why is the price of crude oil even anywhere near it is if the United States is now such a big producer and exporter of oil? It's nonsense. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's all about the petrodollar system. It's about OPEC nations. It's about protecting their oil. The United States military is mandated to protect the oil of OPEC nations. Henceforth, why we have the petrodollar. Henceforth, why the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency and will remain so until we fight a war. And even then, the amount of death and suffering that they will instill upon the peoples of the earth will be biblical. That's the truth here. Nothing is what it seems here. And going back to the stock market, it's the same thing. Nothing is what it seems. We have a market that is so absolutely disconnected from reality, so overvalued, multiples that cannot be justified. That's the real reason why stocks are selling off here, along with the price of crude oil being culled. It's epic. I did not see this coming, but I'll tell you what did. My 1, 2, 3 boom system right on my website. Sometimes I laugh at myself because I can be that stupid from time to time. Believe it or not. Look, we all are never too old to learn, and that's the truth. But my boom system foretold that crude was going to fall. And the funny thing is, I had done one of these reports, and I said, look at the boom system. It's saying crude's a sell. And I said, no, it's going back up. Well, it may go back up, but the boom system nailed it. And I got it wrong. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? Look at my track record. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now $9,500. I was telling people to start buying this stuff again at like $4,600, $4,700. You doubled your money if you listen to me already. Metals are on their way up, and we haven't seen anything yet. And I mean nothing with regard to the price action of cryptocurrencies, which are going higher, metals, which are going exponentially higher. The most undervalued of them all on the planet Earth is silver. You know that. Physical silver. The most undervalued asset on the planet Earth. That's the truth. The entire yield curve continues to flatten out and drop. As a matter of fact, we have an inversion again between the 1 and the 10. This is more than likely going to get worse. And you're going to hear more rhetoric, just like we did on Friday. Oh, this is the Federal Reserve. One of the presidents, Clarita. Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Inverted yield curve doesn't matter. Meanwhile, we have never seen effort like this in the history of the financial world by a central bank to keep rates suppressed. And what do we have? A president calling for negative rates. How does this help the middle class? I don't know. Maybe you know. Maybe you're smarter than I am. Ask the president. Go to his Twitter feed. Mr. President, how do we make America great again by going negative with regard to rates? And rob the middle class blind. How does that help America? How does that help American citizens? Maybe you know, or maybe he'll be nice enough to explain that to you, but we haven't heard a peep yet. We've also not heard a peep from the president regarding what the Federal Reserve is engaged in right now. The biggest debt expansion cycle the world has ever seen. It's epic. There's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it, and more than likely there never will be. This is some other kind of effort to keep the debt bubble hyperinflate a stock market. It's an incredible situation. But again, the distraction now, coronavirus. You must be afraid of the coronavirus, and you must focus on it. You can't focus on the overvalued stock market. You can't focus or be allowed to know that it's crude oil pulling the market down, sucking the energy sector down, sucking the financial sector down with it, and pulling the entire stock market down. No, it's the coronavirus. Remember that, because that's what the mainstream media is telling you, so they must be telling you the truth. You got it? All right. So what I want to do here, I want to do a few things. I want you to go to my website here, traderschoice.net. If you're watching this video on my website, which I hope you are, I hope you're taking advantage of my chat room on the website. A lot of smart people there. Big shout out to you. Anyway, go to my website, traderschoice.net. That's exactly what I'm going to do here. All right. On my website, I want us to do a few things. I want to scroll down. I want to answer a few questions that I've been getting. Right below my video here, credit spreads. Get paid upfront to trade stocks. If you want my quant system, this is where it can be found. Click on it. Click on this right now, credit spreads, okay? It'll open a new window, and you will see here, intraday trading quant system. If you notice the price, 0.00. It's free, 100% free. People keep asking me, Greg, where is it? It's right here. Download it. It's free. I don't ask for anything for it. Just download it for yourself and have some fun with it. All right, now let's go down. Let's go to my boom system, which called this this drop here with regard to crude oil, and I went against it because I'm stupid. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's look at SPY. This is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. You can see, if you look on the right side, forget about the chart. If you can't read it, look at details. Sell signal here. This could be a bad sign, like I said. If we get a follow-through sell-off tomorrow, big problems in this market, big. Now let's look at ticker USO. Put in USO, United States Oil Fund. Like I said, I went against my own system here, and it definitely cost me. There's no doubt about it. Lesson learned. Like I said, you're never too old to learn something. Don't go against Greg's own system, which Greg did. It said it was a sell, and it was a sell. It's still saying a sell here. Actually, crude is being bid up slightly right now. I want to scroll down a little bit. Here's my lovely chat room. A lot of people in my lovely chat room. Keep scrolling down here. I want you to look at my stock screener. There are a couple of buys here. Apple is still a buy. Microsoft is a buy. I'm agreeing with all of this, as you can see. Amazon, big time, it's a buy. Google is a buy. I mean, you can scroll through this too. But these first 1, 2, 5 of these, actually, I'll tell you who's the best. If I were going to get into any of these, and I do own these, it would be Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. These are going up, especially once the coronavirus fear tactic blows over. Again, unless you believe that the coronavirus is going to cause the next zombie apocalypse and that's it, it's over, we're all going to die, well then you have to also believe that stocks will go higher once this is contained. It's incredible. Anyway, look over here, down lower, cryptocurrency stats, Bitcoin, look at these things. It's incredible. Ethereum taking off, Ripple, I mean, it's crazy stuff. You got to hold some of this. Again, I know a lot of you don't like it, but if you've been listening to me, you've ripped its face completely freaking off. And what do you do with those profits, people? Look, if you don't believe in cryptocurrencies, that's fine. You use it as an avenue to add to those things that you do believe in. For example, precious metals. I know most of you do. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, silver, my number one favorite asset in the history of the world. No doubt about it. You need to own these assets. Bet against this debt. Become your own freaking central bank, because we know what they're doing. Look at what they're doing now. The Federal Reserve is inflating the debt like we have never seen before. It's unbelievable. It literally has hit new heights, and it will not stop. They have no choice. At one point, they're going to pull the plug. Again, this is not a perpetual movement. The fact of the matter is they're deliberately hyperinflating the debt bubble. They're deliberately hyperinflating a stock market bubble only to pull the plug and absolutely wipe out the middle class to create a two-tier society. This has been in the works for multiple decades. This one is the end game, final solution, period, the end. They will be the lender and buyer of last resort. How do you take advantage of that? You bet against the debt. You become your own central bank. It can't be more simple. In the meantime, we trade this market. In the meantime, we look at assets that are pretty much skyrocketing as of late. I'm referring to cryptocurrencies here. And you weaponize the system against them. You use it, again, their own game against them. It can't possibly be more simple for all of us. My Lions out here, my Lionesses, my Cubs, all of us. We will win. There is no doubt about it. We are winning. We have been killing it. Except for crude. I got wrong. I admit that again. But you also have to admit that I have been lethal with regard to my accuracy with calling this market, with calling cryptocurrencies, explaining to you what the Federal Reserve would do before they do it. And watch crude oil here. If it continues to fall and we get a sell-off tomorrow in this market, it will be time to take all your Benjamin Franklins and start shorting this market, because it's going to be in for a wallop. Let's keep our eye on it. Anyway, let's see what happens tomorrow. It's going to be a big day. I will keep all of you on top of this. I'll see you in the morning. We'll reassess the dog shit. Love you a lot. That's it. See you tomorrow.